In today's news, COVID cases in the BVI down to 23 following major recoveries, only one person hospitalized. And the BVI to impose sanctions on Russian banks and bans all associated aircrafts from airspace. We also see Symposium highlighting restoration needs in the BVI, and local D'moi Hodge awarded Defensive Player of the Year following successful basketball season. Of yours, these and more stories when 284 News return.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way that day.
What you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What you really? Hey, this ain't like you, you know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home. Keeping out that trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I hustle. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Welcome everyone. It's Wednesday, March 2nd, 2022. I'm Kamal Haynes, coming to you live from the beautiful British Virgin Islands. A happy Wednesday to one and all, and thank you so much for joining us. Well, viewers, we start today's newscast with some great news for the territory, where we see active positive COVID-19 cases in the British Virgin Islands are now under 25 for the first time in months. But this was confirmed in the latest epidemiological summary from the Ministry of Health dated March 2nd. Well, according to the report, the active cases in the BVI now stand at 23, following 87 recoveries and 41 new cases. Of that sum, 13 are on the island of Tortola, 8 on Anegada, 2 on Virgin Gorda. Of viewers, 8 of the cases are local cases, while 11 are contacts of cases. The remaining 4 cases were detected during travel screening. In the meantime, the data also showed that there is presently only one person hospitalized for the virus. The COVID-related deaths total stands at 62 in the BVI. Now moving on, viewers, where the British Virgin Islands is expected to join in the global movement of imposing sanctions against Russia following their recent invasion of Ukraine. But the BVI is well known for its booming financial services sector, which has thousands of businesses registered in the territory with beneficiaries all across the globe. Well, speaking on the Russian-Ukraine conflict in a media release on Tuesday, March 1st, Governor John Rankin said that the BVI will be following the footsteps of the United Kingdom by cutting all financial ties associated with Russia to the territory. Well, he said, and I quote, "The UK has introduced the largest and most severe package of sanctions ever imposed on Russia. Those sanctions will also be applied in the BVI, cutting off access by Putin and the Russian banks to international finances," end quote. Well, Governor Rankin also said that all Russian-associated aircrafts will be banned from the territory's airspace. He stated, and I quote, "In addition, all aircraft owned, operated, or chartered by a person connected with Russia or registered in Russia is banned from flying in the airspace of the Virgin Islands," end quote. But the governor also said that the Ukrainian flag will continue to be flown at the governor's office, and he offered the territory's full support to the Ukrainian people living in the Virgin Islands and to their families back in Ukraine. Well, viewers, in a subsequent release, the governor also basically asked persons of Ukrainian descent that may have any families back home in Ukraine to apply to the governor's office as soon as possible to see where assistance can be sorted. Well, viewers, moving on to our final story before the break, where the BVI joined regional organization to share scientific best practices and techniques for mangrove restoration in a virtual regional mangrove symposium, which started on the 1st of March and ends tomorrow, March 3rd. But according to a government release, the Mangrove Symposium has brought organizations and practitioners from across the Caribbean together to share new scientific developments, examples, and lessons learned from the implementation of mangrove restoration in the Caribbean, also while promoting accelerating the uptake, resourcing, and implementation of mangrove restoration and building new partnerships among national, regional, and global actors, end quote. Well, during today's session, Dr. Cassandra Titley O'Neill, the Director of National Parks Trust, said that in order for mangrove restoration to be successful in the BVI, there needs to be proper governmental enforcement, among other things. Listen in.
While I can appreciate, and I do, thank all of those before me in their efforts to this fight and to having mangrove restoration, I do not think as a country we are where we need to be. And I think this starts with strong political will. And when I say strong political will, we do have some legislation that protects mangroves. I personally think it's not stringent enough because the regulations, it's not enough to deter people from the things that they do. And not just having the legislation, because we have a lot of legislation on the books. It has to have proper enforcement. I talked about the diverse educational medium. One of the things that has worked for us, the Trust was also the lead project manager in the fight against stony coral tissue loss disease. And we started creating these cartoons because most people actually thought corals were rocks. And it developed into a 3-part series, and we got a lot of comments. We posted it in WhatsApp chat groups, Facebook, or YouTube channel, as well as our Facebook page. And the cartoon seemed to have really hit the spot with some people. What we did is we told them what these things were, but we did it in local lingo and using a lot of the terms the younger people do, and they were actually cracking on each other. And people seem to enjoy that. So that's one of the medium, I think, in terms of us moving forward for our specific country, we will have to explore. Continued community leadership. I'm not sure which panelists talked about it, and I strongly agree with that. When you have persons who understand the importance of ecosystems such as mangroves, and they see somebody doing something that they shouldn't do, and it's especially if it's in a remote area, you'll have more input from the community. If you want to do stuff and you don't have the funds, but you just need extra hands, they'll be more willing to come out and assist. And lastly, research. It's hard to get trained persons in every aspect as it relates to research. And so that's why I support persons like Greg coming from UNH, wanting to assist our students and helping them to get a master's, but train them in the skill sets that we need to properly and effectively do our jobs.
Well, viewers, meanwhile, local master's student Neil Jeffers also presented at the symposium today and spoke about her research on the efficacy of cultivation and restoration methods presently being utilized in the territory.
And that brings me to my master's thesis research. So while all of this has been really great and the level of community support has been amazing, are these methods ultimately going to pay off? So the aim of my research is to investigate the efficacy of cultivation methods that are currently being utilized in the territory and to determine which of those methods will yield the most success while being cost efficient and accessible to persons in the region as a whole. So I had two major questions to start. Which method will result in the best rate of survivorship, and how much would it cost to generate a seedling using each method? I will specifically be looking at the direct planting of propagules versus the floating array method. So why does all of this matter? Unfortunately, due to the effects of climate change, the events that occurred in 2017 in the Virgin Islands are likely to occur again, hopefully not within my lifetime. But as a result, it means that the results of my research are not only important for the Virgin Islands, but for the region as a whole.
Well, viewers, the government notes that since the hurricanes unfortunately resulted in the destruction of over 90% of the mangroves in the territory, 3 nurseries have been established, including the H. Laverty Stout Community College Nursery on Tortola, the Jos Van Dyke Preservation Society Nursery, and the National Parks Trust Nursery on Anegada. While to date, these nurseries have planted over 2,100 mangroves and there are close to 6,000 plants in propagation. Interested persons are invited to register for the virtual symposium's final day, which begins tomorrow at 10 a.m. Well, you can register at tinyurl.com/mangrove-symposium. Well, viewers, up next, local D'moi Hodge awarded Defensive Player of the Year following successful basketball season, and state of beaches in the BVI concerning, with residents calling for more to be done. With these and more stories after a word from our sponsors.
There's a reason you get up on a morning. A reason you pick yourself up, start the day. Maybe it's sheer grit. Maybe it's your ethics. Maybe it's because you know people like you are waiting for people just like you. We all have our reasons, and for Republic Bank, that reason is you. Every little thing, every big thing. It's all about making a difference in your life. Because after 182 years, if it's one thing we're sure about, is that the difference is you. We're here to help.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
The wait is over. CCT Fire is here. Experience ultra-fast downloads, seamless streaming, and even more reliable connectivity on an all-new fire-blazing super-fast CCT Fiber network. CCT Fire. Bring it home and upgrade today.
Brilliant Hands and Minds tutoring services, one-on-one tutorials in math and English, intense homework assistance, academic enrichment, school projects, effective communication and public speaking development, sign language for adults and children on Saturdays only. Registered with the Virgin Islands High School Certificate Program, Brilliant Hands and Minds can help you too. Offering intense curriculum-based training to help you or your loved ones get their high school diploma. It's time to make your family's education a #1 priority. Hurry, space is limited. Brilliant Hands and Minds Learning Center. We are the trained education professionals.
Well, welcome back, viewers. Well, British Virgin Islander D'moi Hodge has been awarded as the Defensive Player of the Year and a member of the All-League First Team in the Horizon League. Well, Hodge averaged 2.3 steals per game for his Cleveland State men's basketball team, which led the Horizon League standings. Well, that average also saw Hodge ranking 13th in the United States of America. Well, Hodge has now become the second straight Cleveland State Vikings player to earn the league's top defensive honor, following his teammate Trey Gamillion, who won the award in 2021. Well, Gamillion and fellow senior Deontay Johnson joined Hodge on the Horizon League all-defensive team. Well, Hodge's Vikings team finished near the top of the league in defensive field goal percentage as he ranked 9th in the U.S. with 64 steals. But he has now become the 4th Vikings player to earn the league's top individual defensive honor. Well, he also led the top-seeded Vikings in scoring at 15.7 points, including a pair of 31-point efforts. Well, Hodge shot 48.8% from the floor and connected on 2.0 shots from three-point range per game. Well, moving on, viewers, once again, residents across the territory are complaining about the state of beaches in the Virgin Islands. Well, 284's Ron Grant has the story.
Hello viewers, I'm Ron Grant coming to you live and direct from Tortola in the British Virgin Islands. I am at one of the most popular beaches in the beautiful British Virgin Islands, Beef Island Beach that is. Unfortunately, the beach is not that beautiful. Residents and friends all across the Virgin Islands have continued to complain about the lack of maintenance on local beaches. Beef Island, for example, is one of the most heavily utilized beaches for recreational purposes. There are also a number of vendors who partake here and sell their products. Tourists as well as residents come here on a daily basis. Now the question looms, is the government responsible for the maintaining of for example, the recreational cabanas behind me, or should the onus be on residents who use the beaches to make sure that they are leaving the beach in the best way possible for others to use? If you're like me, growing up in the Virgin Islands has always been about sun, sand, and sea, and the beauty that encapsulates island living. Nature's Little Secrets is home to some of the most pristine beaches in the world. After all, we are referred to as the sailing capital of the world. But it's more than being able to just have beautiful beaches. Like anything else, maintaining and upkeep are important. Once again, residents across the territory are complaining about the state of beaches in the Virgin Islands. From East End to West End, not forgetting the sister islands, beaches in the Virgin Islands are significantly used by both residents and visitors alike. Many are calling for officials to do more in maintaining the beaches. However, should the responsibility be solely on that of our officials? Or should residents who frequently use the beaches ensure that they are leaving the beaches in a safe and clean manner for others to use? While students require community service and can assist in this regard, as well as social nonprofit clubs, the upkeep of beaches in the territory should be a collaborative effort between all residents. One resident and local photographer took to social media to express his dissatisfaction, stating, and I quote, "As residents, we speak of BVI love and pride, yet we don't care for these spaces and the beaches where they are at. Garbage around the ground and in these cabanas, left behind party decorations, tables and chairs like that's the regular weekend hangout. It's all disgusting. I couldn't bring myself to photograph what I'm speaking about. We must do better. I often wonder if all of our elected officials live in the same place we do. Like, are all of you so busy that you don't visit these kind of places? Places you invite tourists to occupy, to see and experience the current conditions? I would spend a few hundred to clean up and paint these, but for what? They're just gonna be run down in a few months. This is all shameful and frustrating, but let's go take nice pictures in front of some BVI signs." Our newsroom reached out to Minister for Natural Resources, the Honorable Vincent O. Wheatley, who spoke about the beach use policy.
Our beaches are some of the most beautiful beaches in the world. They are enjoyed by locals as well as visitors. The beaches are also important habitats for many plant and animal species. The creation of the beach use policy was an attempt to ensure the enjoyment of beaches by all beach users. Over the years, many of our popular beaches have been given special attention, such as bathrooms, beach wardens, and even lifeguards. The increase in sargassum to our shores and the increased use of our beaches following the lockdowns of 2020 and 2021 have brought challenges in maintaining the cleanliness of some of our beaches as manpower has not kept up with beach use. Until the full rollout of the beach use policy, where funds can be collected for the maintaining of our most popular beaches, it behooves all of us who use the beaches to do our part in keeping them clean and pristine. We must be considerate of the users who come after us or who are there with us, and remove our garbage when we leave and contain our noise while we are there.
Additionally, the Honorable Melvin Mitch Turnbull, 2nd District Representative, spoke about the many beaches within his district.
Ron, the beaches in my area, specifically Bruce Bay, King Garden Bay, and Just Van Dyke. I'll start on Just Van Dyke. On Just Van Dyke, I have managed to be able to get beach wardens for both Great Harbor and White Bay, Just Van Dyke, through the Ministry of Natural Resources and Labor. That has been requested over the years, and those positions have been filled. On Bruce Bay and in King Garden Bay, we still have to rely on the team. I would call those guys very dedicated individuals that work within the Department of Conservation and Fisheries. But my push, my hope, and my drive is to continue to allow for persons within the Bruce Bay area and even in the King Garden area to be given or afforded the opportunity to be employed, whether on contract or otherwise, to be able to do that, because it's a busy time and we're in the height of tourism. So the guys from Conservation and Fisheries, while I celebrate and thank them for their continuous efforts, even after the hurricanes and even after the floods and even after heavy rains, they still are tasked with managing the beaches throughout the territory, going towards Western and Smugglers Cove on Long Bay and Josiah's Bay and some of the other areas. So it would be wise to have the persons contracted to be able to carry out those, given tourism is back on the rise and the efficiency and the importance of it to be clean. The other thing that I want to do is also encourage the business communities in King Garden Bay, in Bruce Bay, and even on Just Van Dyke and throughout the territory, that they continue to play their part in ensuring they just don't wait for the wardens or wait for the guys from conservation to come out and do the cleaning, but they also play their part to keep the beach clean, because that is indeed a major part of the tourism product that we provide. So everyone that makes and earns a dollar should be willing and able to continue to ensure that in front their property, in front their business is kept prim and proper and pristine for tourists and visitors alike. The other thing that I want to challenge and encourage is for all persons, residents, especially who would frequent the beaches in the 2nd District and in the entire territory. After you have your parties and after you have your get-togethers, just please ensure that you clean up, find the nearest receptacle, bins, and just dump your garbage. Don't leave your stuff hanging around because it is left for somebody else. So the more that we can do as a community to keep the beach clean, we will do that. And I also have a lot of community projects where we've had the students from the schools involved in doing community service activities, cleaning the beaches throughout the district. We've partnered with Rotary, we partnered with other persons to do that part. So I'm grateful for the efforts, but we can always do better to keep the beaches pristine and just keeping the BVI and our tourism product on the cutting edge.
It has been said that it takes a village to raise a child. It also takes a village to maintain a safe and clean community for all to enjoy, and our beaches are no different. Stiffer penalties for littering, beach wardens, and consistent maintenance of public beaches and the facilities on them are essentially important. But what is even more imperative is for residents themselves to take pride in and care for their home, their paradise, not pass the responsibility off to someone else. Reporting for 284 News, Ron Grant.
Well, thank you, Ron. Well, viewers, up next, Bishop Ishmael Charles leads BVI Christian Council. We get to that story when 284 News return.
You value traditions. You value music. You value education. Family. I love you. Service.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Love. Life. At Popular, we're committed to you and everything our community values. For the things you value the most, count on us. Popular.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
A show poised to help guide modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen. It doesn't always involve suits and, bow ties, but raw, real-life lessons that translate to grounded, community-minded, well-rounded men. This season, I'm taking you on an entirely different journey, from chefs to dancers, philanthropists, communications specialists, and much more. I'm heading outside in the field to share the journey of some of the BVI's best and brightest men. From East End to West End, Bojangara, Justin Lake, not forgetting Anigata. Our Virgin Islands gentlemen are doing the damn thing, and I'm so proud. Get ready to reason, reflect, and redirect. We are the movers and shakers of this generation, and we ain't afraid to show it. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, Season 3 by yours truly, Ron Grant, raising a generation of greatness.
Welcome back, viewers, and thank you for sticking with us. Well, the BVI Christian Council held its annual general meeting on Monday, February 21st at the St. William's Roman Catholic Church in Roetown. And during the meeting, a new executive committee was selected to serve for the next term. Well, our 284 Media's Ron Grant has the story.
The BVI Christian Council held its general meeting on Monday, 21st February 2022 at the St. William's Roman Catholic Church in Roetown, and during the meeting, a new executive committee was elected to serve for the next term. The elected and re-elected officers of the new committee are President Bishop Ishmael Charles, Vice President Sister Rosemary Flax, Secretary Apostle Ava Baird, Assistant Secretary Pastor Leisha Gazette, Treasurer Pastor Nalmo Chowell. The following appointments were made during the meeting: Assistant Treasurer Public Relations Officer Pastor Winston Salmon, Assistant Public Relations Officer Apostle George Rodney, Media Officer Pastor V. Ann Thomas, ex officio members to Virgin Gorda, Bishop Paul Ricketts, Administrative Assistant, Reverend Dr. Keith Lewis. Charles has been serving as pastor of the New Testament Church of God in the Virgin Islands since 1989, and he also has worked to grow the International Worship Center congregation in Tortola from 125 to some 600 persons. He has served at the International Executive Council and as the Caribbean Field Director for the Church of God. He also presently serves as the Honorary Consul to St. Vincent and the Grenadines in the British Virgin Islands. The Christian Council said in an official statement, "We pray God's guidance, favor, and enablement as the new committee takes up the challenge to lead the BVI Christian Council in these critical times." The BVI Christian Council is comprised of different denominations coming together to make a difference in the life of the people of the Virgin Islands and beyond. They say their mission is to bring the people of God together in the spirit of unity. The BVI Christian Council says they can be called upon to provide guidance and assistance in spiritual matters, as they are watchdogs for the nation and the conscious voice for the community. Reporting for 284 News, Ron Grant.
Well, thank you, Ron, again. Well, viewers, we have come to yet to the end of another newscast. Be sure to follow us for daily news updates at 284media.com and like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Kamal Haynes, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.
Live stream cable TV is here with CCT Live. Access over 80 channels that you can watch either at home or when you're on the go. And don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Rewind and watch in your own time. Come to CCT today and ask about our 1-month free trial offer. CCT Live. Bring it home.
Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works. Brilliant Hands and Minds Tutoring Services, one-on-one tutorials in math and English, intense homework assistance, academic enrichment, school projects, effective communication and public speaking development, sign language for adults and children on Saturdays only. Registered with the Virgin Islands High School Certificate Program, Brilliant Hands and Minds can help you too. Offering intense curriculum-based training to help you or your loved ones get their high school diploma. It's time to make your family's education a #1 priority. Hurry, space is limited. Brilliant Hands and Minds Learning Center. We are the trained education professionals.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
I've been looking for this for weeks.